Welcome everyone to today's AMA with Arc Marketplace. During these AMAs, we like to keep things fairly, smooth, easygoing. I like to leave a lot of time towards the end of this particular call to open it up to the crowd and let everybody else potentially come up here and ask questions. Before we get started here, just a quick little introduction of myself for all those that are new in the audience. My name is Shane. I go by Dad Cypher on the Ethereum Towers Discord, as well as on Twitter and all the other fun social media things that I currently have. Unfortunately, I'm battling whatever my little girl had, so I am a nasally mess. And if I mute myself, it's because I'm coughing like crazy. But we're going to power through this all together here today. Without any further ado here, why don't we start off by some introductions from the Arc Marketplace team here. Let's start off with Koala. You want to just do a quick little introduction of yourself, sort of what your role is within the team, and we'll continue down the line.
Yeah, name's Ryan. I'm the community and project manager for arc.market. It's more than a simple NFT marketplace. We'll go over that today. But yeah, hold several roles. Those that have been around in the community for a while probably know me as Koala or the Lazy Koala from back in the day.
And I'm Nick, heading up the marketing efforts over at ARC. It's great to have Ryan on board because, like you, Shane, I'm also battling with the lasting effects of a certain plague, which shall remain unnamed. So, likewise, if my voice trails off at the end, that's why Ryan's here. And yeah, we've also got Jacob from the development team to handle any of the tricky technical questions, which I am certainly not qualified to answer. I just send the tweets after all.
Perfect. And then, yeah, perfect. Well, I'll tell you what here. Before we really even dive into sort of the marketplace itself, does somebody want to just kind of introduce what ARC is, ARC DeFi is, and then, from there we can start to dive into sort of the marketplace itself.
I can probably grab that one while my voice is still good. So as Ryan alluded to, ARC is more than just an NFT marketplace. I mean, in saying that, the fact that we're building an NFT marketplace is kind of a big deal. And there's some pretty impressive features, which we'll get to later on, I'm sure. But the main overall mission of ARC is one of an aggregator. So that might be an unfamiliar term to some people in the audience. Essentially, what it means is we're trying to make access to the world of crypto, the world of blockchain technology, as easy and as streamlined as it can be by bringing all the different options, different chains, different assets all together in one place. And if that's still not clear, we can use an analogy here. If you wanted to go and book a holiday somewhere, you wanted to compare different flights on different airlines, different hotels, what rental car to get, you could click around on different websites, right? All these different companies, these providers, they have their own website, and you could do that, and it would be pretty challenging, pretty stressful, and by the time you had gone to another airline, the first one you checked might have changed. Just not a great experience overall. And that's what it's like in the crypto world at the moment. Say you're wanting to pick up certain assets because the market's dipped a bit. One's only available on KuCoin, one's only available on PancakeSwap. You're clicking back and forth, connecting your wallets. It's not easy, right? But what we're building is akin to being able to go onto Expedia or Google Flights or any of these websites that brings everything together. You can compare your different flight options. You can book hotels at the same time. It's just a lot more straightforward, and it's become pretty much the default way to book travel these days for most people. And we believe that this proven concept that's demonstrated, its potential in other industries is even more so going to be applicable in the world of crypto, where, as we know, there's not a lot of regulation or coordination. Everyone's kind of developing and branching off in 100 different areas, which is great for innovation and the speed of advancing this space, but it can be challenging, especially for new members. So we're looking to solve all of that. Some of our products are pure aggregation whereby we don't provide a solution, but we connect users to all the different options out there. For example, if you had some tokens that you wanted to swap, what our system does is find the cheapest way to swap it. It might send the tokens to 1inch, it might send them to Uniswap, but it would find the best solution. For the NFT space, we saw so many ways that we believe we could improve and provide our own offering that's superior to what's out there, that we decided to build our own marketplace. And I guess that's why most of the people in the audience are here, to learn more about what we're building, the various opportunities that are available with ARC. And we'll be excited to share some more info on that throughout this AMA with you guys.
Yeah, that kind of brings us to the next big point here, the marketplace. So obviously that is a huge step for any sort of organization or group to get into. So I guess what kind of like mindset did you guys bring to this? Where did you guys just see like a gap in the market? Did you guys kind of identify? Did you guys just get like a lot of feedback from sort of like the ARC community that they're interested in a marketplace? You guys want to just kind of go into your thoughts behind building this marketplace?
Yeah, I can go into a few. Yeah. So what kind of started this was you go on social media, right, and you just hear how broken OpenSea is, right? Broken sea trends on Twitter, right? So there's clearly something wrong in this space. The collections that have tried to get verified on OpenSea are ignored for months, right? There's just nothing there. There's no easy way into this space. There's no easy way to get in touch with anybody over there, right? And then the competitors, if you can call them that have come along and tried to do anything, they're anonymous teams. They take $5 to $50 million in profit on launch, right? And just immediately send it through Tornado Cash. That project can remain unnamed, but I'm sure you could figure it out, right? So no one has actually brought anything legitimate to this space to help legitimize it and make it easy and more user-friendly for all these projects, right? So we came up with the plan that instead of just aggregating a lot of the garbage that's out there, let's improve on it as well, right? So by creating our own, and as Jasper has probably been helping you along with a bunch of other projects with, is we wanted to bring this individualized project support that a lot of these projects are just not able to get anywhere out there. And not only that, we bring the knowledge of our entire DeFi suite with us, right? And we actually are developing another project, which we can cover in a second, that actually helps even more in that space. But by providing this support, we're able to help these projects that may not have otherwise been able to get off the ground and bring their ideas to fruition, because we can provide swap services for their native tokens. We can provide a native NFT branded marketplace page for them, right? So they can not only list on a marketplace, they can host their own, similar to how Star Atlas, if you go to them, right, they have a native marketplace on their own site, although technically it's aggregated through other marketplaces. However, they host it themselves, right? We want to provide that service for people. Bridges, swaps, a native wallet, all of this we want to be able to provide for these projects so they can realize their ambition with minimum overhead. And as I alluded to make this even easier, Henry is currently continuing to develop a generator of sorts. Will be called our arc reactor, right? Where we can custom build all of these contracts for projects and reduce the initial lift even further. Instead of hiring a dev team of 6 and requiring months of development in order to get your product to market, it can be reduced to a matter of weeks, and the cost can be cut over 90% for these projects, which allows them to do what they do and build and focus on that, and not worry about, if I don't sell out 5,000 NFTs this week, we're not going to have the money to develop, and then end up not being able to make it anywhere.
Yeah, to say the least, one of the most sought after people right now are those developers, those contract developers, purely because the demand for them is unbelievably high. So the costs for them are astronomical at this current time. So it's amazing to hear you folks are taking a step the direction to help build sort of the creators of projects. Now, I guess one other thing that I did notice is you guys are going to have a 1% fee. Do you guys want to just quickly touch on that and what that means for consumers?
Yeah, so you'd notice now some of the larger ones charge an exorbitant fee, and you wonder, like, why do they even need this? Why do they need 2 billion in revenue a day, right? Or I know it's hyperbole, but it gets absurd sometimes, right? When something related to an animal is minting land deeds. However, yeah, the 1%. So when users come to our site, instead of having to give up 2.5% of their sale to the NFT marketplace, they'll actually only be required to give up 1%, which is the lowest in the market. And then on top of that, out of that 1%, half of the revenue generated anywhere along the Arc suite of products, right? Not just the marketplace, but in the swaps, the bridge, the farms, the pools, anywhere, is actually shared back to Arc token holders. And right now, all of our Arc stakers are benefiting from that with bi-weekly distributions of our revenue into those farms. So maybe the 1%, but if you're holding ARC tokens, you're actually essentially getting a rebate on that.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. And the other thing too that quickly popped out to me was the ability to list for free. Obviously, and looks rare, and a few other of them. To create and list your NFTs, it can be quite pricey. So I'm kind of curious how you folks are kind of taking the approach to list for free.
Maybe Jacob would be most qualified to take up this question, if that's all good with you, mate. But yeah, I think our development team has some pretty talented individuals. Ryan mentioned Henry, who's working on this generator. He's a published academic. He's got, I believe it's 1 or 2 research papers out there. And yeah, some other pretty smart people building up the ARC technology. And we're already at a stage where what's been built is exceeding a lot of competitors. And maybe Jacob, correct me if I'm wrong, but the latest version of our ability to is it bulk upload and lazy mint is perhaps even superior to OpenSea's technology. Is that right?
Essentially, like the easiest way to think about it is like, say for example, you wanted to let's just do easy numbers right here. You've got 8,888 unique NFTs with all different attributes, different metadata. You want to upload that to OpenSea and mint through OpenSea, or just mint on your own contract on Ethereum. You're going to be paying like a ridiculous amount of gas fees for that, because you're going direct to chain, right? And you're needing to pretty much prepare all your contracts, get everything uploaded, get all the metadata assigned on chain, and then all your buyers essentially need to buy that so you can get your money back, right? Well, essentially we're just doing a lazy mint function where, sorry, I'm just walking down to get a coffee right now, a little bit breathless. Life of a developer. Essentially just we are building a database of your entire collection. So let's just say it's another 8,000 NFTs. And when the user comes along and they want to buy your NFT, at that point, they will pay the transaction fee, which essentially mints it onto the blockchain. And then they are covering that fee, which in the end means you can, what are your options then? Well, as Ryan said, hyperbole, you could have 20,000 items. You could have, technically, I don't see why not. You could have 100,000 NFT items in a collection, and you're not paying any upfront gas. In my mind, I don't see any other competitor that's doing that, and especially as far as bulk uploading, there is no direct in-house competitor that's offering a feature to bulk upload an entire collection of NFTs all in one go, and I could be a 15-year-old doing this. So, like, I'm looking at this going, far out, my little brother could, like, build an amazing NFT collection, start a hustling community on Discord, like, and have this thing up and running over the weekend. Like, kind of crazy if you think about it. Obviously, you don't want to be doing that. You want to be playing it out. But you see what I mean?
Yeah, it really lowers that barrier to entry when it comes to new collections. I absolutely love it. Now, You kind of touched on it a little bit towards the beginning there, but sort of the token support and how you're able to swap and bridge tokens, super quick and much cheaper through your guys' ecosystem. So do you guys want to, I guess, quickly touch on that, because that's actually going to lead into my next question surrounding ARC token.
Yeah. So.
Right.
Yeah, I'll take this one. So there's quite a bit behind this kind of support. So right now we provide all these DeFi tools, right? But we're actually currently working with a couple of larger partners as well. And the idea is we don't just offer these services on our site, right? They're going to be everywhere. So for, I don't know, let's just randomly say a project that's creating a metaverse, right? I don't know of one off the top of my head, but let's say there's some out there.
Very random.
And they have tokens in their game, right? Or their metaverse that maybe people can buy admissions to meet somebody or a famous person, or they can buy additional resources in the metaverse, or they can pay an entry to get into some mini games in the metaverse, or whatever it may be, right? Or even simply buy an NFT that's hanging on a wall in an apartment, let's say. Right? So what we do is we're going to provide developer kits and essentially widget all of our options. So this native swap and this bridge function and our wallet, once we release that, even our dashboard and farms even are going to be not only available on that project's site, and then that project can actually collect a portion of the revenue generated from those by powering their system with Arc. You can go into these metaverses, and as an example, in another project we're working with, they will have a bank you can walk into, and you can walk in, or an ATM, depending on where you're at in the metaverse. You could walk in and accomplish all of these actions that you normally find in DeFi, right? You want to stake some tokens. Well, you'll be able to farm right there, or you want to make a swap, like you're looking at the ATM screen and you see, oh, I have Ethereum, but I need this, let's just say a tower token, right? I need this token. Well, I'll be able to just click the buttons right there. All of Arc's DeFi tools in the background will make all of this possible, and then just simply happen in the metaverse right there on a little in metaverse screen, right? So users won't be burdened with having to leave, swap to a different window. Not everybody has the luxury of having a 49-inch monitor, right, where they can keep the metaverse on one side and their DeFi tools on the other, right? Sometimes people are just doing it on a simple laptop, and the ability to that barrier of entry, right? The ability for a user to not know really how everything works, but I just want to get this token, right? Like when you log on to your traditional bank, you think I don't need to know what you have to go through. I just want to put these dollars from this account into this one. Well, our bridge can do that and just make it very simple for everybody without the complexities of 20 tabs pulled up, one for a bridge, one for a farm, one for a farm on this chain, one for swaps on this chain, one for swaps on this chain, and then a couple of centralized exchanges, which, oh, by the way, we incorporate them as well. Yeah, the massive suite we bring, the goal is everything in crypto, right? And we mean that. So when we decided with this NFT marketplace, everything in crypto, we can now provide all of these tools for projects to even incorporate them into their metaverse, not just onto their websites.
And Shane, did I hear correctly, or maybe I got this wrong, that you guys are perhaps looking at having an Ethereum Towers token? Was that correct?
Oh, you are correct, Nick.
Ooh.
Tower token, absolutely, and we'll get into.
Oh, I just pulled that name out of nowhere.
Who would have guessed it? We pulled it out of nowhere. It's crazy how it sounded so familiar. But yeah, no, most definitely. I'll tell you what here. I always like to leave a little bit of time at the end here to see if there's any sort of questions from the audience. Big believer in allowing people to come up here, ask their questions. So if anybody raises their hand, by all means, I'll pull you on up here, and that way people don't have to hear my nasally voice right now.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'm also of the same belief that when you call something an AMA, you kind of have to let people ask, right? That's the point. That's the name. That's why we're here. So.
yeah, feel free if anybody does have any sort of questions. By all means, I guess while we're waiting for people to raise their hands, you guys want to just kind of quickly touch on sort of like timelines for marketplace, and then the ARC airdrop, because I assume that's probably the other big piece here that we should probably touch on.
Yep. Everyone loves an airdrop, that's for sure. I don't know whether Ryan or Jacob would be best placed to talk about maybe some of the more specifics around the mechanism, but essentially the idea is that if you hold sorry, is my voice starting to go? If you hold an NFT and you list it for sale on the ARC marketplace, you'll be entitled to claim or participate and take a share of an ARC token airdrop that's being made available. And then, of course, by holding that ARC token, you can stake it in our proprietary farm and earn a share of that shared revenue. The way the revenue share works is the fees from the marketplace, or half of the fees, they're captured in Ethereum, I believe, or wrapped Ethereum, and then there's some development magic that happens behind the scenes. Essentially, that's used to buy the ARC token off the market, and it's placed into the farm and distributed out to anyone who's staking. And that way we can provide some additional positive price action to the token, while also returning value to people who hold the token. But I'm sure people might be curious as to a few more specifics around that mechanism, and we will be sharing some details on that shortly, leading up to the release. But yeah, if you guys had anything to add, Jacob, Ryan, or maybe I covered it off.
Hey, real quick, guys. I jumped in real late here.
Yeah,
Is it going to be written up so I can go back and read what you guys had all said, or?
It's actually being recorded.
Excellent. That's all I needed to know then. Wonderful.
Perfect.
So it's even worse. All our coughs and our awful Kiwi accent will be preserved on the internet for all time. Gotta love it.
Hey, come on now.
Yeah, if you guys hadn't
We're
realized,
gonna lump you guys together.
We got quite a plethora of accents up here. We got the Canadian, the Kiwi. We got sounds. I don't know about koala, but
yeah, we've got two Kiwis, and then we don't know where Ryan's from. No one knows. So.
Man, a mystery. Love it. Is there any other sort of questions here that we can take from the crowd? And I don't know if I missed it or not because I was coughing up a storm and took off my headset. But do we have like dates for the marketplace? Is there times that we should be watching out for this so that we can potentially list some items within there?
Yes, I believe on that topic, Ryan is sorting out a bit of an early sneak peek here.
Just a little.
I'm guessing he'll be dropping it in one of the text channels. Maybe is it general or?
If you just put it in lobby chat, because I don't know if I turned on the ability to embed links.
I think it's a screenshot.
Okay.
But we are also excited to be able to announce that the user interface front end, the functionality, and the back end, that's essentially all complete. The marketplace is up and running on a test network, and we do have an early access link that we're starting to share out. Some of the NFT projects that we're partnering with. So, I don't know, maybe Shane, if you'd be interested in having a bit of a look around. But yeah, I see Ryan has just
dropped it in the lobby chat. Yeah, it doesn't do it justice. Yeah, you don't even understand the stuff we have planned for this, right? So right now, that actual glow in the background is animated and cycles through several colors as part of our branding, right? The background stars give you that like galaxy theme kind of deal, are actually moving around as well. In future iterations, we're actually going to match that glow with each NFT. So when you have a feature up here, similar to like Philips Hue lights behind your TV, right? It will take pixel colors out of certain sections and animate that glow in the back. Yeah, it looks really nice when it's live, but unfortunately, I cannot give that link out to just anybody.
Yeah, no. If it's anything, I assume that is very similar to then your home screen on arc.market. So, yeah, no, I'm super excited to see where arc.market takes. If I could talk to, that would also be fantastic. Is there any other questions here before I let these folks get back to building the marketplace here? I'm gonna get people to the count of 10, just like I do with my kids.
Man, I give my child to the count of 3.
Oh, yeah.
Heal, child, heal.
My little girl doesn't listen to me 1 through 10, so I don't even know why I try at this point. But
back in my Air Force days, there was a pilot. This is kind of on a tangent while we wait to see if somebody wants to type up a question or anything or raise their hand. He trained his kids. So when pilots are doing dogfights and they're just practicing, right? There's a term. If you say "knock it off," everyone immediately stops. You're required to all say "knock it off" and what. So right, Viper 1, knock it off. Viper 2, knock it off. Viper 3, Viper 4. Red 1, Red 2, and it just goes through. So everybody acknowledges it, and they just get away from each other and reset. Right? It's a case. There's like a safety issue or something. This pilot literally taught his kids that when he said knock it off, his kids would then repeat, like, oh, Shane, knock it off, Nick, knock it off, Ryan, knock it off, and they would just immediately stop whatever they were doing. He would do it in the middle of the grocery store, anywhere. It didn't matter, and they knew when he said that, they immediately just stopped everything and stood there. I don't know how he did it.
I don't don't know. Spending enough time around my kids, I don't know if that would even be possible.
I'm just trying to see if I can.
There's one question
Ryan
that posted. Oh, Ryan talking about his Star Wars days again. I don't know.
Star
if
Wars days?
to that.
No.
I actually like that.
I'm just trying to one up Ryan here. I don't know if the server will allow me to post, but I've got a recording equivalent of the screenshot that Ryan shared. So
no, you did not just do that while I was talking.
The glow and the motion. I may have, although the issue here now is that my terrible New Zealand infrastructure means that this upload bar is incredibly slow. So it's only 10 megabytes, but it's only a third of the way there. So we might have to keep talking about disciplining children.
There's a few questions I'm seeing in the lobby chat that may not have made it to the stage chat just because that's where I dropped that graphic. But can we drop some alpha and will it be listed on the marketplace? I like how it's spelled too, Yoda.
Yeah, that's my big thing that I took away from that. That's actually really awesome.
Yeah, it's quite a bit. We're working with a lot of partners to get stuff listed, but then kind of the entirety of crypto, right? How some other projects launched. There will be rewards for anybody who lists NFTs that Nick alluded to as well. Do it, you won't. And so, yeah, the idea is to have quite a few things on listing. And then what is not complete, kind of second part of that for you. Really, it's just more UI stuff. We're constantly improving. So you'll notice like on that back glow, we're going to trim the top and a bit more down off the bottom, or add more a bit to the bottom. Simple stuff like that. And then, yeah, Certic has audited our contracts for the marketplace as well, and they have everything. And George, who could not be here, our COO, because coincidentally enough, him, Jasper, and Tom, our NFT accounts manager and social media manager, are actually having a live AMA simultaneously in Bristol. So, unfortunately, those three could not join us, but they're, indulging, I suppose, hosting their own kind of AMA. But yeah, so nice. Certic has everything, and George has been following up before I went on the tangent and getting them to release that. Their engineers have looked at it and sent us what they're going to post, but for some reason they just simply have not posted it yet, and we definitely want that. But on top of Certic, we have actually two separate security guys. One who is pure security for our site. All he does is test all of our functions in the background, and pen test and all of this. And then we recently hired another one that's a front end developer that comes with a huge security background, that has also started testing it. So we will not launch anything that is not completely secure and been looked over many times. So as they come up with little things like, well, you're doing it this way, but this way could actually be slightly more secure, or it'd be a little bit smoother. It would load the screen faster. Like one of the things, our pagination wasn't perfect, right? So Jacob went ahead and caught that, and we've changed that now, so the site will load a bit faster instead of trying to load it, 10,000 JPEGs all at once, right? Especially because we allow up to 100 megabyte sizes. I know some platforms don't, and we actually have plans to increase that even further as we scale up to a gig. So I imagine the likes of Disney could come in and simply NFT their movies. And if anybody steals that idea, I'll come hunt you down. Yeah, so there's a lot of plans, and as these guys find any little thing that we're not quite happy with, and also the projects we've been sharing this with, what if they find stuff as a user, right, coming from a different background, they're used to interacting with these marketplaces in a different way than us building it, right? They may have input that we just may not see. We don't look at things the same way, and so we gather that input. I know Valentine, one of our ambassadors, has brought up a couple good points we've implemented, but as we gather those little changes, those little UI changes, we'll be doing that to kind of polish it up as well. So hope that answered all those.
Amazing stuff, guys. Well, is there any other questions here before I let these folks go?
I think there's probably one thing that we should touch on that then we mentioned when we're talking about, or when we let people know about this AMA, is that that ARC has an apartment in the Ethereum towers to give away, which was kindly given to us by the towers team, and we'll be giving that away, I believe, next week. So there'll be an opportunity to win this apartment, and it will be announced on the ARC Twitter, I guess across all of our social channels, right? So people should go and follow the ARC Twitter account, and next week we'll provide an update on.
If I cut out, guys, I'm gonna get blown away, and apparently this storm and there's lightning everywhere. So if I cut out, that's why. Who knows if I'll survive? Pretty crazy out there.
I put the Twitter information in sort of the general lobby chat here, and I'll post your folks' Discord as well. So if anybody has any sort of questions, by all means pop into their Discord. It's always super popping in there, so feel free asking questions. It was an absolute treat to have you folks on here today. I'm gonna go take a nap now and hopefully feel much better in like 2 hours. But thank you, ARC team, for coming in here, explaining sort of your solution. I'm super excited to see how this all shakes out. You guys have any final words?
No, nothing from me. Just appreciate you guys having us here.
My seed phrase, it is Crypto King Finn profile. I'm just kidding. Anyways, I'll let you folks go. I appreciate everyone. Till next time. Bye-bye.
Take care, everybody.
See ya.